Ramsay MacDonald 1924. Ramsay MacDonald, born in 1866, was a Scottish socialist and politician who played a pivotal role in shaping British politics during the early 20th century. A founding member of the Labour Party, MacDonald became the first Labour Prime Minister of the United Kingdom. His political journey began with his involvement in socialist and labor movements, advocating for workers' rights and social justice. As a charismatic leader, MacDonald rose through the political ranks, establishing himself as a prominent figure within the Labour Party. His oratory skills and commitment to progressive ideals made him a respected and influential leader among the working-class population. The political landscape of the United Kingdom in 1924 was characterized by a complex interplay of domestic and international factors. The aftermath of World War I had left Britain grappling with economic challenges, social unrest, and political uncertainties. The traditional two-party system, consisting of the Conservatives and the Liberals, was undergoing significant transformations. The Labour Party, founded in 1900, had steadily gained traction as a political force representing the interests of the working class. The 1923 general election resulted in a hung parliament, with no single party securing a clear majority. This led to a coalition government between the Liberals and Labour, a fragile alliance that struggled to address the pressing issues facing the nation. Ramsay MacDonald's ascension to the position of Prime Minister in 1924 marked a historic moment in British political history. Not only did it signify the Labour Party's arrival as a major political force capable of leading the government, but it also reflected the shifting dynamics within the broader political spectrum. MacDonald's leadership represented a departure from the traditional dominance of the Conservative and Liberal parties. As the first Labour Prime Minister, MacDonald faced the daunting task of navigating the challenges left by the previous coalition government, including economic uncertainties, foreign policy dilemmas, and internal party dynamics. His tenure was closely watched, not only by the British public but also by the international community curious about the implications of a socialist-led government in a major global power. MacDonald's role in 1924 was pivotal in shaping the future trajectory of the Labour Party and influencing the evolving nature of British politics. His leadership style, policy decisions, and response to critical events during his time as Prime Minister left an indelible mark on the political landscape of the United Kingdom, influencing subsequent developments and setting the stage for future Labour governments. Ramsay MacDonald was born on October 12, 1866, in Lossiemouth, Morayshire, Scotland, into a working-class family. His upbringing in a modest household instilled in him a deep appreciation for the struggles of the working class. Despite financial constraints, his parents encouraged his education, and MacDonald exhibited academic promise from an early age. MacDonald's educational journey took him to local schools and ultimately to the University of London, where he studied literature, economics, and philosophy. His exposure to the ideas of leading intellectuals and social reformers at university played a crucial role in shaping his political ideologies. Influenced by thinkers like John Stuart Mill and the Fabian Society, MacDonald developed a commitment to social justice and equality, laying the foundation for his future political endeavors. MacDonald's entry into politics was fueled by a passion for addressing the socio-economic issues that plagued the working class during the late 19th and early 20th centuries. His early activism included involvement in various socialist and labor movements. Inspired by the ideals of socialism, he aligned himself with organizations advocating for workers' rights, fair wages, and improved working conditions. MacDonald's political activism gained prominence when he became associated with the Independent Labour Party, ILP, in the late 19th century. His dedication to social reform and his ability to articulate the concerns of the working class propelled him into leadership positions within the ILP. His reputation as a charismatic and principled speaker attracted attention, helping him become a recognizable figure within the broader socialist and labor movements of the time. As the political landscape evolved, MacDonald played a crucial role in the formation of the Labour Representation Committee, LRC, in 1900. This committee would later evolve into the Labour Party in 1906. MacDonald, representing the ILP, was at the forefront of this collaboration between trade unions and socialist groups. His efforts were instrumental in creating a unified political force dedicated to advancing the interests of the working class within the British political system. MacDonald's leadership within the Labour Party continued to grow, and he became its first secretary. His strategic vision and commitment to political engagement helped the Labour Party gain traction, and by 1922, it had become a major political force. MacDonald's role in the formation and early development of the Labour Party established him as a key architect of a political movement that would significantly impact the course of British history. As MacDonald's political career progressed, his leadership within the Labour Party paved the way for historic moments, including the party's first participation in government, with MacDonald himself eventually becoming the first Labour Prime Minister of the United Kingdom in 1924. The early years of MacDonald's political journey laid the groundwork for his later achievements and solidified his legacy as a champion of social justice and the working class. The general election of 1924 was held in the aftermath of the 1923 election, which had resulted in a hung parliament. The Conservative Party, led by Stanley Baldwin, had been the largest party, but it did not have a clear majority. The incumbent government was a coalition between the Labour Party, led by Ramsay MacDonald, and the Liberals. The political landscape was marked by economic challenges, with post-World War I reconstruction efforts and financial difficulties impacting the nation. Additionally, the political situation was complicated by external factors, such as the ongoing Irish Free State negotiations and strained relations with the Soviet Union. The Zinoviev Letter, a controversial document allegedly sent by Soviet officials to British communists, also emerged as a significant issue, adding a layer of complexity to the election campaign. Several key issues dominated the political discourse during the 1924 election campaign. Economic concerns were at the forefront, with high unemployment rates, inflation, and a struggling economy. The Conservative Party, under Baldwin's leadership, campaigned on promises of economic stability and a return to traditional values. The Zinoviev Letter, which surfaced just days before the election, intensified political tensions. The letter, purportedly from Grigory Zinoviev, head of the Comintern, urged British communists to promote revolution in the British armed forces. Its publication in the press, just before the election, created a scandal that undermined the credibility of the Labour government. The Conservatives capitalized on this controversy, framing the Labour Party as sympathetic to radical ideologies and potentially compromised by foreign influence. Additionally, foreign policy played a role in the election campaign, with debates over Britain's relationship with the League of Nations and its stance on international affairs. The campaign unfolded in an atmosphere of heightened political polarization, with each party striving to present itself as the solution to the country's challenges. The general election of 1924 resulted in a decisive victory for the Conservative Party. Stanley Baldwin led the Conservatives to a landslide victory, securing 412 seats compared to Labour's 151 and the Liberals' 40. The electorate's shift towards the Conservatives reflected a desire for stability and a rejection of what was perceived as Labour's inexperience and the controversies surrounding the Zinoviev Letter. The outcome had significant implications for British politics. Ramsay MacDonald, facing the consequences of the election defeat, resigned as Prime Minister. The Labour Party, having experienced its first taste of government, now had to navigate the challenges of rebuilding and redefining its identity in opposition. The Zinoviev Letter scandal continued to reverberate, contributing to a long-lasting mistrust of the Labour Party's foreign policy intentions. The election of 1924 marked a setback for the Labour Party, but it also provided valuable lessons that would shape its future strategies and policies. The Conservative victory solidified Baldwin's position as a prominent political figure, and his government faced the task of addressing the economic issues that had resonated with voters during the campaign. Overall, the election of 1924 left an indelible mark on British politics, influencing the trajectory of both the Labour Party and the Conservative Party in the years to come. Ramsay MacDonald's appointment as the first Labour Prime Minister of the United Kingdom in 1924 was a historic milestone in British political history. Following the general election that resulted in a hung parliament, MacDonald formed a minority government with the support of the Liberals. His elevation to the position of Prime Minister marked the culmination of the Labour Party's gradual ascent to a position of prominence within the British political landscape. MacDonald's leadership style was characterized by a pragmatic approach and a commitment to addressing the economic and social challenges facing the nation. As the first Labour Prime Minister, MacDonald faced the formidable task of proving the capability of the Labour Party to govern and implement policies that would benefit the working class. The composition of MacDonald's government reflected a delicate balancing act, as it was a minority administration relying on support from the Liberals to maintain parliamentary stability. Notable figures within MacDonald's cabinet included Philip Snowdon as Chancellor of the Exchequer, Arthur Henderson as Home Secretary, and J.R. Clines as Lord Privy Seal. MacDonald's team consisted of a mix of experienced politicians and rising stars within the Labour Party, each contributing to the government's decision-making and policy implementation. Despite the challenges of leading a minority government, MacDonald's cabinet was dedicated to advancing Labour's progressive agenda, focusing on issues such as social reform, workers' rights, and economic stability. The first Labour government, although short-lived, pursued several key policies and legislative initiatives during its tenure in 1924. One of the primary objectives was to address the economic challenges of the time, including high unemployment rates and inflation. MacDonald's government sought to implement measures to stimulate economic growth and improve the living standards of the working class. A significant policy initiative was the Wheatley Housing Act of 1924, named after Minister of Health John Wheatley. This legislation aimed to tackle the housing shortage by providing subsidies for local authorities to build council houses. The act marked an early example of Labour's commitment to social reform and addressing issues of housing inequality. In addition to housing reform, the Labour government also pursued measures to improve working conditions. The Trade Disputes and Trade Union Act of 1924 extended legal immunities for unions, reinforcing the rights of workers to engage in collective bargaining and industrial action. However, the government's agenda faced challenges, both internal and external. The Zinoviev Letter scandal, which surfaced during the election campaign, continued to cast a shadow over the government, contributing to its eventual downfall. The limited parliamentary majority also constrained the government's ability to enact more radical reforms. Despite its brief tenure, the first Labour government laid the groundwork for subsequent Labour administrations, showcasing the party's ability to govern and implement progressive policies. The experiences and lessons learned during this period would shape the Labour Party's future strategies and policies, influencing its evolution as a major political force in the United Kingdom. The economic challenges confronting Ramsay MacDonald's Labour government in 1924 were multifaceted and demanding. In the aftermath of World War I, Britain was grappling with economic uncertainties, high unemployment rates, and the need for post-war reconstruction. The Labour Party's commitment to social reform and improving the conditions of the working class faced the harsh reality of a fragile economic situation. MacDonald's government aimed to address these economic challenges through a mix of policies designed to stimulate growth and provide relief to the most vulnerable. However, the government's ability to implement these measures was hampered by its minority status and the need to secure support from other parties. Economic pressures, coupled with the difficulty of governing without a clear majority, created a delicate balancing act that MacDonald and his cabinet had to navigate. Internally, the Labour Party faced its own set of challenges during MacDonald's government. The party's transition from opposition to government required internal cohesion and unity, but ideological differences and factionalism persisted. MacDonald's pragmatic approach and willingness to form alliances with other parties, including the Liberals, created divisions within the Labour Party. Some within the party, particularly those aligned with more radical socialist ideologies, were critical of MacDonald's moderate and compromising stance. This internal dissent was exacerbated by the economic constraints faced by the government, leading to debates over the extent to which the party should pursue transformative policies. The Zinoviev Letter scandal also had repercussions within the Labour Party, with factions pointing fingers and internal strife intensifying. MacDonald's leadership faced challenges in managing these internal tensions while simultaneously addressing the broader issues facing the nation. The Zinoviev Letter scandal, a critical event in the history of Ramsay MacDonald's first Labour government, revolved around a purported communication between Grigory Zinoviev, head of the Comintern, Communist International, and the Communist Party of Great Britain. The letter, published by the British press just days before the 1924 general election, allegedly encouraged British communists to engage in seditious activities and promote revolution within the British armed forces. The authenticity of the Zinoviev Letter remains a subject of historical debate, but its impact on the political climate at the time was substantial. The letter added fuel to existing fears and suspicions regarding the influence of radical ideologies on the Labour Party, further intensifying the political polarization surrounding the government. The Zinoviev Letter scandal had a particularly damaging effect on the Labour Party's standing, both domestically and internationally. It eroded public trust in the government's competence and raised doubts about its ability to handle delicate foreign policy matters. The Labour government found itself on the defensive, attempting to refute the allegations and reassure the public of its commitment to national interests. In the face of mounting pressure and a loss of confidence, Ramsay MacDonald made the difficult decision to resign as Prime Minister on November 8, 1924. MacDonald's resignation marked the end of the first Labour government, which had held power for only a matter of months. Ramsay MacDonald's role in shaping the political landscape of 1924 cannot be overstated. His leadership represented a bridge between the early ideals of the Labour Party and its pragmatic engagement with the realities of governance. MacDonald's legacy is complex, marked by both accomplishments and controversies. While his government faced challenges and ultimately fell due to the Zinoviev Letter scandal, MacDonald's tenure opened a new chapter in British political history. His legacy is one of pioneering the Labour Party's entry into the realm of government, setting the stage for future Labour administrations. MacDonald's impact on the party's strategies, policies, and approach to governance reverberated through subsequent decades, influencing the broader trajectory of British politics. Despite the controversies surrounding his leadership, MacDonald's role in 1924 remains a critical chapter in the ongoing narrative of the Labour Party's journey from political outsider to a major force in British politics. Thank you for watching this video. If you found it informative, please like, comment, and subscribe to the channel for more content like this in the future.